for him. If David did not believe, or he failed to believe in that thing called forgiveness, he wouldn't have conceived this in his heart today. Yes, because he will say, yes, because the grandfather did this to me, and because this one happened and this one happened, I will not remember his household. But on this day, David asked, is there still somebody in the household of Saul? Not even Jonathan that favored him. It began from the grandfather, the father of Jonathan that assisted him. And they said to him, listen. So they called a servant of Saul named Ziba and brought him to David. The king asked him, are you Ziba? He want to be sure. He replied, I am your servant. Verse 3, then the king asked him, is there still someone of the house of Saul to whom I can show God's favor? In other words, to whom I shall show what? God's establishment. And hear what they said to him. Ziba answered the king, a son of Jonathan whose feet are crippled still lives. A son of Jonathan, the son of Saul, that is the grandson of Saul, is still alive. But Ziba did not hesitate him by telling the king that yes, there is somebody, but this boy is like a dead dog. He cannot walk. He's a crippled person. So what has the king got to do with a crippled man? Beloved in Christ, what brought about the situation of this young man? Mephibosheth, that is the name of this young boy, the son of Jonathan. He wasn't crippled from birth. No. For somewhere. Something happened. 2 Kings chapter 4 verse 4. If you read that passage, you see what happened, what brought about the situation of this young man. He never bargained with the mother, with the father, that in coming to life, I should be called a crippled man. No, it was situation. That some people attacked the family, the household of Saul, wanting to kill Saul and Jonathan, the father of Mephibosheth. So the maid in the house carried this young boy. He was at the age of 5 years. So while she was running with Mephibosheth, the young boy, she fell down, and that was how this boy had that accident. I could not walk again. Beloved in Christ, many of us, situation has crippled us. Many again, people have caused what has crippled us. Many again are still wanting and still longing for establishment. But maybe somebody is there pioneering what is happening to you, monitoring what is happening to you, and because they know you have a great future, they will cripple many things. Situations also, even ugly situations, can cripple us. But beloved in Christ, it's only grace that can turn things around. Praise Master Jesus. So in having this grace with you, you must have faith in the God who has created you. And he said in Isaiah chapter 43 verse 4 and 7, I've created them for my own glory, that nobody will thwart my plans for them. That is God speaking. So whether Mephibosheth has been crippled by situation or whatever thing, there's a future for him. There's an establishment for him. So beloved in Christ, just learn to conceive it. When you conceive it in your heart with faith, you will achieve it. You cannot achieve establishment with faith to conceive establishment in your mind. We go on. The king asked him, where is he? And Ziba replied, he's in the house of Machiah, son of Amir, at Ladoba. So King David sent for him and had him brought from the house of Machiah, son of Amir, at Ladoba. When Mephibosheth, son of Jonathan, son of Saul, arrived, he fell on the ground and paid homage to David, who said, Mephibosheth. He replied, I am your servant. David then told him, do not be afraid. I will do you a favor for the sake of your father Jonathan, and give you back the land of Saul, your grandfather. Another point, beloved in Christ, because we have mentioned forgiveness, if you need establishment in life, learn to forgive people. You know why? Unforgiving heart is like children fighting. If you are holding somebody on the ground, you will not leave, the person will not leave. So that is what unforgiving hearts. does to us and continue to do to us. So if you don't forgive that to your brother, don't forgive that person and all those things, you are still fighting. She did this to me, he did that to me and all those things. You are bottling your blessing. You are tying yourself, you are chaining yourself. So I bring it to you this night. If you want establishment in this life, any sphere of life, any side you want it, either in marriage, either in office, for promotion, whatever thing, believe in forgiveness. Practice forgiveness. Give forgiveness. The second point, beloved in Christ, is goodness. And David said, for the sake of who? Jonathan. So dear parents that are praying for their children for establishment, go back to yourself. Ask yourself this simple question. Am I a believer? If you're a believer, do you believe in goodness? Do you show kindness to people? Do you know that the charity you are doing today awaits you tomorrow? Are you aware that charity can never expire? It may take time. He said to Habakkuk, write it down. It may tally, but it must surely come to pass. And in Psalm 112, the Bible says, it goes well for the man who gives generously and lends. So David said, for the sake of who? Jonathan. So imagine if Jonathan has followed the footsteps of his father Saul by showing wickedness to David. Do you think David would have considered this today? No. So you see that your good hearts will always pave way for you. And he said, for the sake of Jonathan, I want to do this for the son. Now David then told them, do not be afraid. I will do you a favor for the sake of your father Jonathan, and give you back all the land of Saul, your grandfather. Imagine a crippled man repossessing the possession that would have gone to the father, even to flow down to him. And listen, I know why David was saying this. Mephibosheth to be considering in his mind, how am I going to utilize this land? How will I go there since I'm crippled? But hear what David said. Besides, you shall always eat at my table. You shall always eat at my table. He bowed down and said, what is your servant that you should show concern for a dead dog like myself? A dead what? Dog like myself. Beloved in Christ, many of us, we are calling ourselves so many names. It's not your fault. Situation has led you into that point. But I bring it to you this night that your confession also matters a lot. Yes. When the Bible said in Job chapter 22 verse 29, when men are saying there's a casting down, those who believe will say there's a lifting high. It's all about confirmation of good and positive statements. So when people have written you off, beloved in Christ, believe that when God switches you on, no one can switch you off. So mind what you say to yourself. Don't believe what they're saying. Oh, they say to you that people have gone there, they could not make it. Your own establishment is different. Your own case is different. You are not them. You are who you are. Because the Bible says that he that is in me is far, far greater than he that is in the world. Dearest in Christ, David said to Mephibosheth, don't worry. I'm aware of your situation. You are not a dead dog. Situation has led you to say this. But Mephibosheth heard this. The king called Ziba, Saul's servant, and said to him, I've turned over to your master's son everything that Saul and his family possessed. Both in Saul Zulu, both in Katananya, because of his wicked heart and everything. He said, I'm giving everything. You yourself and your sons and servants shall till the land for him and carry the harvest so that your master's family may have food. Although your master's son Mephibosheth shall always eat at my table. Ziba, who had 15 sons and 20 servants, said to the king, your servant will do whatever my lord the king commands. Mephibosheth ate at the king's table like a king's son. And Mephibosheth was not eating like what? A king's what? Son. Beloved in Christ, Mephibosheth had a young son named Micah. And all who lived in Ziba's house became Mephibosheth's servants. But Mephibosheth lived in Jerusalem, for he always ate at the king's table. He was crippled in both feet. But that doesn't matter. All those things are immaterial, because now divine establishment has been given to him. Praise Master Jesus. Praise Master Jesus. Now I decided to go to the dictionary to ask the meaning of this thing we call establishment. We are not going to mention everything, but I picked some points from that dictionary definition that we will talk about establishment if it's too big for you to understand. Establishment is all about settlements. In other words, we are asking God for divine settlements. It could be in your marriage, it could be in that office that they are denying you promotion. Maybe because the boss doesn't like you or love you. Maybe because you don't believe in bribery and corruption. Maybe because your ways, you come to the morning, you come to the office in the morning, you offer your prayer. Maybe you have the sticker of Lumen Christi. Maybe you have your rosary or your chaplets. And because of this, they are fighting against you and all that, denying you your rights. Beloved in Christ, the Bible is said in Psalm 75, promotion does not come from east or from west, but it comes from him, the maker of heaven and earth. So we'll talk about divine establishment, we are talking about divine settlement. Another interpretation we say that we'll talk about establishment, we are referring to what? Confirmation. Something that is fixed, something that has been stable and recognized. So we are praying with faith that at the course of these 3 days encounter with God, may God establish us. That those people that have been writing us off, that have condemned us, that nothing good will come out from us, the same people will follow us to testify that indeed something good can come out from him. Because in the case of Mephibosheth, many people do not consider that Mephibosheth will be called an established being. But on this day, God established him. Praise Master Jesus. Jesus said to Lonumo, Solibe Momolia. Jesus said to Lonumo, Come Jesus said to Lonumo Baba. Solibe Momolia. Jesus said to Lonumo, So what is that area of your life that needs settlement or establishment? Some will tell you, I know a place I will take you to. Some will tell you, I know this person that did it for this person. Some will tell you, come, follow me to this man, this native doctor, this prophetess, this and that. He or she has got this solution. But of course, you know, Abi? So the only person that can give you establishment that will last is who? Is God. Yes, human being may vote for you to become a governor. It will not last forever. They may vote for you to become a president, to establish you as the president, #1 man, citizen in a country. But it will not last forever. But the establishment that God gives will do what? Will last forever. Praise Master Jesus. Praise Master Jesus. Beloved in Christ, we ask ourselves again, what are the obstacles, barriers to this divine establishment? Yes, we are aware that we are talking about divine. It's not natural, it's not just human establishment, it's divine. But are we talking about, are we going to consider obstacles? Yes, we'll consider it. And I tell you this night that the #1 obstacle to any form of establishment, especially divine one, settlement and all that, it's not just human being, it's not just others, so it's the self. The what? The self. Yes. So don't begin to look outside. Yes, something is happening, this one is happening to you, delay is happening and all that. Yes, you will be tempted to begin to look at somebody, begin to accuse somebody. But do you remember again that when we are talking about the self, even while you are stretching for one hand, pointing at somebody and all, others are telling you, look at yourself first. So those ones that are bent down, pointing at you, is telling you, please, before you go outside, look inward. So as a child of God, do you know who you are? As a believer, do you know what you have got? Even as a member of this ministry, Lumen Christi family, do you even know the God you have? Maybe I should use this opportunity to say this testimony or to testify. Yes, I've not discussed with our father, with our director, my spiritual father. When I finished secondary school 2002, my uncle, my mom's elder brother, came to Okpanam. Sorry, not Okpanam, it's USO, United States of Okpanam. If he pay you, come and beat me. So 2003, I moved down to Asaba with him. And I was staying with him. My uncle wasn't a Catholic. In a way, the family, they go to Christ Embassy. But because ordinarily, their family should be called Catholic family. Yes. But because now, and for peace to reign and all that, so everybody must go to one place. But every Tuesday, we enter car, we'll just sneak out. Nobody will know where we are going to. We'll come to this place. Back there, I used to wear one agbada if me get Yoruba Kobunya. Yes, because it won't choice. But we'll come here. Father, I remind you again, you came to back of a stadium to handle a case that the wife was not coming to even cooking for the husband. That is the family. Yes, I remind you, that small boy that used to come here, that is the father speaking. Praise Master Jesus. But beloved in Christ, when father came with his team, it was a serious case in the household. Father will still remember when he wanted to sprinkle one room, the woman said, no, you are not entering there. That is my room. But my uncle said something. Two options he gave to God. Do this thing for me. Yes, he did not use the word establishment, but he was saying, God, do this settlement for me. That is establishment. And I beg you, do this thing for me. I'll come back to the Catholic Church.